This is a review about the X-Files, specifically season 10 and season 11. Now, obviously, there are going to be spoilers about these two seasons. Season 11 is currently only aired episode 1 out of 5. So obviously I won't be discussing season 11 upcoming episodes, but I am going to mention episodes from what you call season 10. And so just be advised that you might hear spoilers. First of all, a little bit about me. I'm a huge... Okay, back in the 90s, I used to be a huge X-File fan. So we would describe ourselves as an X-Files. That's spells with PH. So clearly when I heard they're going to make a season, like 15, 20 years afterwards, I was not happy about this. The reason for that is that a huge chunk of the show was relevant for its time. We're talking about mid-90s, going through the next millennium. People were afraid from the Y2K and the world collapsing and technology. And that was just true to its time. And part of it was aliens. All the alien abduction stories. It was part of that fear. So it was very true to its time, I think. When people discuss this and actually referring to those episodes as season 10 and season 11, it's really hard for me. I usually use it on social media as season in quotes because it's really, really hard for me to connect those two to the original show. And it started off from the fact that they decided to make another movie after the original show ended. Let me explain. It's pretty much went downhill from there. Here's the thing. The TV show ended beautifully with an homage to the pilot, where you have the motel scene. And it also included a Mulder and Scully shippers sort of nod, where they're like cuddling and kiss. And it was clearly a homage to the pilot episode in season 1. It was beautifully made. It was very poetically made. So when they decided to make a movie after the show ended, at that time, I was pissed off. And it kind of went downhill from there. Now, we are currently making this recording season, again, in brackets, season 11, episode 1 has been aired. Last year, we saw season 10, in brackets, 6 episodes in total. Now, here's the thing. I used to be an original X-File fan, die-hard X-File fan. There has been episodes that I missed. It's got to do with the fact that it was aired late at night, and my VHS programming sometimes didn't work. Sometimes the company that aired the X-Files in my country kind of decided to change the airing time just by letting us know with subtitles like 30 minutes before the episodes. Again, we're talking 90s here. We're not talking fast connection internet. So there are still episodes which I haven't quite seen. In addition, late episodes of The X-Files, the ones that David Duchovny announced that he's going to be leaving the show, I didn't see because at some point I kind of fell off the wagon. I did came back for the grand finale, so I do know what I'm talking about. But since they made a second since they made a second movie, it kind of went downhill, and I'm gonna refer to this as season 11 and season 10, but it's really hard for me to say that these two seasons are related to the original show. Now, another reason it's hard for me to accept it, I mean, let's face it, this is an American TV show, and a huge part of this, all American TV shows, a huge part of this is heavily based on the sex appeal of the actors. And we're talking about Gillian Anderson and we're talking about David Duchovny. Both are in their late 40s and late 50s. Now, people who are in their 40s and 50s might not like what I have to say, and obviously we are all heading that way. But a huge attraction from the original show was due to the leads being in their 20s, in their 30s, in their primes. We don't have that anymore. Now, after season 10 was aired, there was a huge criticism, specifically about Gillian Anderson, because female usually get it worse, even worse than guys, that she was like way too much nipped and tucked looking. I think they actually kind of played it off in season 11, but again, I'm going to get to that. So, season 10. Season 10 for me, first of all, I had issues with the fact that it came out so late after the original show, after the movie, the second movie that came out. And the second movie kind of crapped on the beautiful poetic ending that the show had. Now, I do agree that the show kind of ended in like an open, questionable in terms of Mulder and Scully. They kind of like ran off from the black helicopters. And the beautiful homage scene in the motel was kind of like a question mark, because they're on the run. What's going to happen next? And season 10 kind of crapped on that one. Let alone the second movie, but season 10 kind of crapped on that one, because at that stage they were together, which was a huge deal for the shippers. I was one of them. But they had a rough patch. They got disconnected. They kind of like living alone. Scully still cared about Mulder. but clearly they're not a couple anymore. I was upset by this. I was upset by this because it just felt too much stretched out. And again, we're talking years and years, more than a decade after the original show and after the second movie. I just didn't like it. Now, as for season 10 on its own, it had 6 episodes. Now, it wasn't, again, the X-Files' greatness was the fact that it was right for its time, which was the 90s, just before the millennium. And it was a big part of the Y2K fear that pushed that show. Now, season 10 came out in 2016. So 16 years after the millennium. Big, fear. It didn't pass the test of time for me. It did not. The fact that you cast the same actors, which you have to for this franchise, but it just didn't work for me. I watched those 6 episodes, and here's the thing. The Monster of the Week episodes, that one kind of worked. The mythology didn't. Now, I'm just going to remind you, at the end of the show, it was like a question mark of Mulder and Scully being runaways from the black helicopters. The second movie and season 10, they were like suburbans living together on their same name. Like, they're not, it's just a continuity issue. Like, it ended with, they're on the runaway. They're not going to go back to their old identities. And all of a sudden, in the second movie and season 10, they're back in suburban lives and they're living under their same names. Hell, Scully's even working as a medical examiner, as a medical doctor. It's just, it's a continuity issue. It didn't work for me. So I wasn't really happy about this. And then season 11, again, it's really hard for me to refer to these seasons. I mean, season 10 is 6 episodes. What you call season 11 is due to be 5 episodes. Recording this, during the time of recording this, season 11 is supposed to be 5 episodes. I heard rumors it might be extended to 10 episodes. I don't think that's going to happen. That might be an old rumor that is not going to happen. Mind you, the original seasons were 20 episodes, even 20. I'm just scrolling through old websites here. Yeah, 20, even season 4, for example, and season 3 were 24 episodes. So just to give you a history review, a usual season of the X-Files was 24 episodes, and this was by Fox. So we're talking season 10, 6 episodes, season 11, 5 episodes. Currently, only episode 1 was aired. Now, this is my review about the first episode in season 11, which is My Struggle Part 3. because there were 2 episodes titled that on season 10. First of all, the thing that bothers me. Remember how in season 10 the correlation between the alien conspiracy happening in our reality usually be able to coexist, and that is relevant to the previous show episodes? Well, that got fucked in season 10. And in season 11, we get the explanation, which is, oh no, it's all been a dream. It was all a vision by Scully. So it is true to the original show, but at the same time, I had that as a cliffhanger from season 10, and I was pissed off by this. Because the greatness of the show, that everything that happened in that show could have coexisted with our reality. Now, clearly, this is entertainment, this is showbiz, this is not real life, but everything we saw on TV could have, in theory, coexist. And the cliffhanger on season 10 was like, we're breaking all the rules on that one. And then season 11 was like, remember that we said that, alien invaded Earth and there was like a huge disease and people were like hysterical? Well, that was a dream. That was a vision. I don't know. It annoyed me as a fan. It really did annoy me as a fan. Another thing that I didn't like was the fact, the tool of voiceover. This is Fox. This is the X-Files Fox. This is not HBO's Dexter. Now, past episodes, the original show, Fox Mulder, sometimes Dana Scully, sometimes Skinner, sometimes I think even the cigarette smoking man, but you might as well correct me on that one. The voiceover tool was used at the beginning or the end of an episode. It was never used as in the middle of an episode. It was never used to describe what's going on in the episode. This is Fox. This is not HBO's Dexter. Okay? That was... It upsets me that they use the tool of that not according to the original mythology of the show. Another thing that pissed me off was the fact that, look, Ferrari. Now, Fox is one of the big networks in American television. I understand that the American market works with sponsorship. It's just the combination of using the tool of voiceover, and in addition to that, the fact that an FBI agent cannot afford a Ferrari. Okay? An FBI agent like Fox Mulder cannot afford or would not be provided a car like Ferrari. And that was for me, like, there's a voiceover, oh, someone is following me, and then continue to a car chase scene with, and I do recognize the logo. I mean, the only thing I can think of is for some reason that Ferrari thought that whoever watched the X-Files in the 90s might be a legitimate customer for their product. in 2017 or 18. And, it's so being felt like pushed down my throat. I was like, I was a hardcore fan of the X-Files in the 90s. I have the money. I'm most likely not going to buy a Ferrari. Okay? And that alone, it just felt like a commercial, like an ongoing commercial to the company. It didn't feel like I was watching the X-Files episode. It felt like I was watching a very long Ferrari commercial. And it's just that, and the voiceover tool, it did not feel like the X-Files for me. It did not felt like the X-Files for me. Now, another thing with the X-Files season 11, or the fact that even they continued season 10, like beyond the original show, and continued to the movie and season 10 and season 11, we have Jeffrey Spender back. We have the cigarette smoking man back. Now, I do agree that I have episodes that I kind of didn't watch, either because VHS programming or the company that aired the X-Files at that time kind of messed up with the viewers, changing the schedule without letting them know in advance. But over 15 years ago, I honestly did not remember what happened with Jeffrey Spender. I vaguely remember that the cigarette smoking man died. I just don't remember how. We don't remember the characters, how they end up. Now, mind you, Scully had 2 children, right? She had Emily, who died, and she had William, which was obviously introduced as Mulder and Scully's kid, but somehow it didn't set right, and now I do know why. But it just introduced so many problems there that, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that this is episode 1 out of 5. I honestly don't see them fixing this in the remaining 4 episodes. It's just a fiasco for me. I will say this. I was a hardcore fan of the original show during the 90s. It was right for its time and place. It was right for its times in terms of everybody were scared from the Y2K. Everybody was scared from like the alien invasion. it was right for its time that the leads were in their prime. We're talking an actress in her 20s and an actor in his 30s, and a show that ran for 9 seasons, 2 movies, and it was good. And the fact that they brought back for very shortened seasons, it's really hard for me to call those seasons. It's really hard for me to associate those with the original show. It doesn't work. It does not work. And I really wish, for me, it kind of went downhill from the second episode. This is the second movie, which crapped on the beautiful poetic ending of the TV show. Season 10, what you call season 10, was like nice, especially the standalone Monster of the Week parts. Season 11, it's like, it's not. I do know there are even hardcore than me, X-Files fans out there. I have been talking to them on Twitter, but it doesn't work. It does not work, and I'm begging Fox to stop. I am begging David Duchovny to stop. I'm begging Gillian Anderson to stop. I'm begging Chris Carter, who is the showrunner, the show creator, to stop. It's just shameful for the cultural reference that the show used to be. Now, I can't change the past. Season 11, which is 5 episodes, it's going to happen. It's going to be aired. It's already been filmed. It's just stop. Really, stop. This plea is way overdue. Just stop. Please, please stop making these episodes. It's got nothing to do with the original show. I mean, for me, season 10 and season 11 got nothing to do with the original show. Whoever watched these seasons, 10 and 11, is the original hardcore X-Files. Some of us are still doing it because curiosity, but it's painful to me to watch this. I can only plead to Fox, stop making this. You know, it's just became a parody. Back in the 90s, we had a bunch of parodies for the X-Files. Season 10 and season 11 are the parodies for what the original show been. It's like, just please stop making these episodes. Kill the franchise and be done with it.